Hi, this is our learning evidence of the nature of life. The team members are Brandon Olivares, Marcelo Sanchez, Sofía Berlanga, Octavio Aguayo, Jacqueline Villagran, and me, Valeria Osornio. And we are going to show you our action that we did in the last 2 months to try to reduce our carbon footprint. Okay. My first action was separate the trash in plastic, carbon, cartons, and paper, etc. And this helped me to release the products that we can reuse. The second action was to buy biodegradable products. These products are made with natural materials and it's better for the ecosystem. My third action was to save energy. For example, I tried to turn off the lights if a room was empty. My fourth action was to reuse packaging. For example, I buy these packaging from their spaces, and when I finish it, I try to fill it, and I don't need to buy the whole packaging again. And my fifth action was to take cool bags when I went to the supermarket and I pull inside all the fruits, etc., all these things that I buy in the grocery store.
Okay, now I will speak about my actions. The first picture you can see there is a public transportation. I sometimes use it when I wanted to go to my grandparents' house. If there's the chance that my parents cannot leave me, I could use the Korean because it's like one way, all right, and it leaves me where I want. The second one is not my house, but it's the neighbor's house. They use solar panels. I have some familiars that use solar panels. I have not. We have, well, my family doesn't have that opportunity to put solar panels, but it's in our plants. And the third picture you can see is a plant, yes, but it's a reused package. My mom has a garden outside and inside the house, and so she used every like this little reusable, I don't know, of the mayonnaise and everything to put her plants inside. And the third picture you can see there, no, the fourth picture you can see there is that I save energy. Why? Because on that remotes you can like lower or make higher the intensity of the light and also of the fan. The fifth picture you can see there, as my friend Valeria, I also use cloth bags for the groceries. And the last picture you can see there is that I have the habit of disconnect some plugs of the lamps and the chargers. Maybe I cannot disconnect the refrigerator because it will melt everything inside, but the unnecessary things I disconnected.
Okay, my first action is to use cloth bags as my previous classmates. I use them like for when I go grocery shopping or to the OXXO. And my second action is recollecting bottle caps. We do this to then send them to an organization that collects them and maybe help some people or kids that have a sickness or something, and we recollect them. That third one is we also recollect plastic bottles, and some of them we recycle them and we do like natural water and put them there. And I also have recycled paper. I use it for drawing, or when I have to do like a gift and I want to make a letter, I use that. And also like for homework. And I also turn off the AC like most of the time. I only like when it's very hot, and I only leave that like 1 hour, 2 hours.
So now come my actions. First, we compact plastic, which is something not much people do, not very much people do. But essentially, we put plastic bags and all that non-reusable plastic into Coke bottles or Pepsi bottles, and we compact them to a very high pressure and close them off. This will create something that's called an echo block, and You can actually make houses with a lot of this stuff because of how hard and resilient it is. Another thing we do is separate the plastics from the unusable again plastics, like small wrappers or stuff like that, and reusable plastics like bags. Another thing, like other people do too, is use reusable bags whenever we go to the mall or to the shopping or to the supermarket. We use reusable bags, which are very compact and we can take out wherever. The plastic bags that we cannot avoid getting, but that can be reused, we reuse them and we put them in a small container that is sold made of cardboard, reused from cookies, and you can reuse those plastic bags whenever needed. We also use the correct toilet button, so depending of how much water it is needed to make everything go away, and make sure this thing doesn't waste water, which sometimes it has happened, but when that happens, we close right away the water key and we call someone to fix it as soon as possible so we don't waste lots of water.
My first action is to save energy with new LED lights. So we can use it very often, but efficiently. The next one is disconnecting the cables of the light for not if we're not using them. My second action is cloth bag. I use it for the grocery store for not to use the plastic ones that can contaminate a lot. My third action is buying ecological straws. We often buy it because when we go to the restaurants, they give us plastic straws, but we don't like them because we need to, take them to the trash, and that contaminates. So we often buy ecological straws to put them in the trash, but be ecological. My third, no, my fourth action is to carry on a ecological bottle for it not to use bottle plastics and can reuse them very often.
Okay, so the first action I did was reuse gift bags, which it's not very common, but they come in handy. Then, well, the lights in my house are LED lights because they are greener. And then my third action was getting cloth bags for when we go grocery shopping. Next slide, please. And then we recycle plastic bags. Well, in the photo, there is a large bag, and inside there's these plastic bags they give you in the supermarket for fruits and vegetables. So when we don't need them anymore, we store them there and use them for example, trash bags or anything that we may need. And then my last section is using natural light. So with this, we are saving energy by not using like artificial light or electricity and instead use natural light.
Thank you for your attention.